the Big 12 has released their conference opponents for each team, and there's no dates or times or anything on this. It's just who they're going to play at home and away, who they're going to just play at home, and who's they're going to play on the road only. Now, I'm going to start with Baylor on this. Home and away are the following teams: Houston, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Texas, West Virginia. Now, the home only is UCF, Kansas State, TCU, and Texas Tech. Now, the away only are like the following: BYU, Cincinnati, Iowa State, Oklahoma. Now, next team, BYU. Home and away are the following teams: Cincinnati, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas, TCU. The home only are Baylor, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, West Virginia. The away only, UCF, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Texas. Now, UCF. Home and away, Cincinnati, Houston, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Now, the home only is BYU, Iowa State, Kansas, and Texas. Away only, Baylor, Oklahoma, TCU, Texas Tech. Cincinnati, home and away against the following teams: BYU, UCF, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, West Virginia. Home only, Baylor, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, TCU. Away only, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas, and Texas. Now, Houston, home and away are the following: Baylor, BYU, UCF, TCU, Texas Tech. Now, home only are the following: Cincinnati, Iowa State, Oklahoma, Texas. Away only, Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and West Virginia. Now, Iowa State's home and away are the following teams: BYU, Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and West Virginia. Now, home only are the following: Baylor, Cincinnati, Oklahoma, TCU. Now, away only, UCF, Houston, Texas, Texas Tech. Now, Kansas's home and away are the following teams: Baylor, BYU, Iowa State, Kansas State, and Oklahoma. Now, home only, Cincinnati, Houston, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Away only, UCF, Texas, TCU, and Texas Tech. Now, Kansas State's home and away are the following teams: UCF, Iowa State, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Now, home only are BYU, Houston, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Away only, Baylor, Cincinnati, TCU, Texas Tech. Now, Oklahoma's next on the list, and their last time they're going to play home and away, and home only, and away only, are the following teams. Now, I'm going to start with home and away. Cincinnati, Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Texas are home and away. But the home onlys are Baylor, UCF, Texas Tech, TCU. Now, the away only, BYU, Iowa State, West Virginia. Now, Oklahoma State's home and away are the following: Baylor, UCF, Iowa State, Oklahoma, Texas Tech. Home only, BYU, Houston, Texas, West Virginia. Away only, Cincinnati, Kansas, Kansas State, and TCU. Now, TCU's home and away are the following: BYU, Houston, Texas, Texas Tech, West Virginia. Home only against UCF, Oklahoma State, Kansas, Kansas State. Now, away only, Baylor, Cincinnati, Iowa State, and Oklahoma. Texas, home and away against the following teams: Baylor, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, TCU, and Kansas State. Yeah. Just want to make sure I say this. Baylor, Oklahoma, Kansas State, TCU, Texas Tech. Yep. Now, home only against BYU, Cincinnati, Iowa State, Kansas. Away only, UCF, Houston, Oklahoma State, and West Virginia. Now, Texas Tech's home and away are the following: Cincinnati, Houston, Oklahoma State, Texas, and TCU. Home only against UCF, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State. Now, away only, Baylor, BYU, Oklahoma, West Virginia. Now, West Virginia's home and away are the following teams: Baylor, UCF, Cincinnati, Iowa State, TCU. Home only against Houston, Oklahoma, Texas, and Texas Tech. Now, away only are BYU, Oklahoma State, Kansas, and Kansas State. So this was based on a combination of factors like geography, historical results, and a poll of the coaches to best balance the schedule in terms of travel and competitiveness. And we'll know the dates on all these games at a later time. But this is just an FYI on this. It'll be interesting with one last year in the league. And the only team, there were no teams that like BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF, they did not make the NCAA tournament last year. So, but for all the other ones like Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Texas, and West Virginia made the NCAA tournament. So, anyways, if you like this content, like and subscribe, and see you guys later. 5 subscribers we're on the road to. Let's go, and we'll see what happens for next year as that goes, because you never know with that Pac-12 situation. Maybe the Big 12 adds somebody, I don't know. And the thing is, too, even if they don't add anybody, it's going to be down to 12 teams again. It's still not going to be home and away against all these teams. You can't play each other. There's no more round robin on this.